All right. Can you make money out of music? Can you make a lot of money being a musician? Can you become rich? It's going to be the topic of this video now. Well, it's difficult to say because personally, I've never made that much money out of music. Sure, I played some gigs some time ago. I was playing in bars, I was playing in cafes by singing songs and playing, accompanying myself and all that stuff. It was okay, a little bit of money you make, but it's never like a real, day job kind of money. Yes, you can make decent amount of money just to get by if you work a lot, if you play a lot of gigs, and if you're up for it, and usually it would be in the evenings, if not nights. That's also, one of the possibilities. But, when you're young, that's okay. Or if you don't have a family, well, you can get away with it. But once you are, once you grow up, it's not that easy anymore to just be every night somewhere, unless you're making some decent amount of money and you have some plans, and the way you continue is going to provide you with those results, then that's fine. But if you're dreaming like, I'm going to be a big musician, I'm going to make a lot of money out of it, I think you better think again. It's especially if you're a guitar player, you're not going to make that much money out of that, just playing, And in the old days, few decades ago, you could make albums could sell. It's not the case anymore. You can't just make CDs, even cassettes. You remember those days? I don't know if there are people in the audience who remember cassette days. It's that's not the case. You have to play gigs and make money out of that, or you have to sell merchandise. You have to have T-shirts and whatnot. But unless you have those things, you don't have those things. And if you're a beginner, that shouldn't be your goal anyway. If you're a beginner, especially, you should not think like, what if I become a musician? How much money can I make out of it? Then maybe I won't have to have a day job. I can just be a musician. That's difficult. That's not very likely to happen. But if it does happen, it would happen as a byproduct of your love towards music, because you can't help but become a musician. You have to be so passionate about music and guitar, and there's a lot of suffering there. It takes a lot of work and time. You have to run that course, and it's only possible if you're passionate about it. And if you're passionate about something, it doesn't have to be just music. Then it might work in the end for you, because that passion is contagious. Other people might notice it, and you might have some doors open for you without realizing, that. But it's not going to be out of being a good musician or trying to, get something out of music financially. It's going to happen out of passion, out of your respect towards music, if it was to happen. And I'm not saying that there aren't many successful musicians or musicians who make a lot of money, but sometimes that's something else, because those people don't necessarily need music to make money. That's a different skill in a way. I'm not, I don't want to generalize, I'm just giving example. That's because there are those people who can make money out of anything. They could be, I don't know, chair salesman or shark salesman or whatever, toy salesman. They can just do it. Whereas somebody else would just cope, they would be okay. But these people would take it to next level, and go to the top. But that's not because they would be like great at music. It would be because they have that skill to really move forward. And that's something else. Some people are talented like that. And one person might be musician plus that, and that would work. And there are other ways. I think being a session musician, But I was watching that documentary. The what was it called? Wait a minute. Oh no, I forgot the name of it. Hired Gun. Yes, Hired Gun. It's a lot of guitar players who play with big names, and when you're a session player or when you're this kind of hired gun kind of player, you have to be really very good at what you do because you're not the famous one yet, at least. So anybody technically better than you or who look better on stage, or let's say skill-wise at the same level as you are, but they look better on stage. They take better care of themselves. They look better. Then they would get the gig. You know, that's a whole other game. You know, it's unfortunately, you know, it doesn't sound fair, but life isn't fair sometimes. You know, it's just that you have to stick to your guns. You have to do what you love. You really have to do. If you love guitar, you won't need any other reason to practice and become better at it anyway. If you love it, you can't stop it. You're just going to play and play and play and play. Even if, I don't know, let's say your parents, even if your teachers or whoever tells you, hey, put that down, you're not going to get anywhere with that. No, you won't listen to it. I didn't. I mean, not that my parents were against it, but they were always like, oh, that's fine as a hobby, but do something else and play your guitar anyway, no problem there, but go study something else, go become something else. I don't know. I think one should stick with what they're passionate about and do their best about it. You know, become the best that they can become. I think that's about it. As I said, life is complicated. You know, I can't give you sure answers, but that's just my opinion. And I see you on the next video. Bye.